Hi. Welcome to the Untitled Sickos Podcast. I'm Car Sausage. I'm gonna get into that later. Who the hell are you people?
Starfield Game Works. Master a name.
Who are you?
Hi, my name is Aiden. I am from Bay Area in California, and Jazz are gonna win the World Series. I don't care what the haters say. Let's fucking go.
Hi. What the fuck? Oh shit, wrong one. Hi. I'm Nick. I don't know what my intro is, so I accidentally clicked the wrong fucking soundboard, but you know what? Actually, the fumble one makes a lot of fucking sense now that I think about it, because I truly fumbled that. Meant to do this, so fuck it.
Oh God. And what about you?
Oh, I already said. I said name Mastora. That's name. I pre-ordered Starfield like a fucking idiot.
Bethesda fanboy is talking.
Oh,
Yeah!
Todd Howard loves me!
Todd Howard! Senpai! Senpai!
As you can see, his brain has fully rotted.
It has.
This is what happens when you play Bethesda games, ladies and gentlemen.
I can proudly confirm that there are 2 not safe for work mods already. The game's been out for 24 hours and these fuckers have already created... They're replacers for posters, I'm very well aware of that. But still, that's pathetic.
You either love to see it or you hate to see it, depending on who you ask.
I mean, to be fair, for like full-on nude skins, it took Fallout for 2 weeks?
Oh no! Holy! How dare they?
2 weeks before CBE came out.
Anyway, yeah. So the welcome mat. I said how my name was Car Sausage, and we're gonna get into that later. So, for all you undying fan out there, you know, like, you were probably wondering, what the hell's going on? Why isn't there a sicko this week? Well, I'll tell you why. Thursday, there was a bad storm that happened, and I lost power for 4 days and 8 hours. It was not good. It was very bad. And I thought I was gonna die because a tornado came within 6 miles of my house. So, sorry for the wait. So this is gonna be a long episode, and you know, just make sure that, you know, if you feel like you're in an area that's prone to tornadoes or just generally shitty electrical infrastructure, just make sure that you have adequate generators, some water, whether that's bottled water for drinking or just any gray water on hand to make sure that you're able to flush even if you're on a well. You know, just make sure you stay prepared.
Yeah, once in a lifetime crazy storm, eh?
Yep. Michigan be like that sometimes. Unlike you fucking West Coasters who have it like...
Hey, to be fair, we did get a good amount of rain today, which actually isn't a bad thing considering we have a certain thing called a drought, so I will say though, I really I don't know if this had anything to do with my power going out a couple weeks ago, or the fact that stuff gets old or stuff ends up being useless. But I would say in terms of yeah, struggles for the sickos this week. So we got a new fridge. We got a new fridge this week, and unfortunately, the new fridge has been a pain in the ass. So we're basically having to call the store again. Like they're saying, okay, fine, we'll get you another fridge for free, because it's like our new fridge has not really been getting cold enough. So that's not great.
That's not what a fridge is supposed to do.
Yeah.
Uh, so, by the way, how was Hurricane Hillary?
I mean, we did get rain here and there. I feel like we didn't get the full impact of it, considering that there's like a shit ton of mountains here around Vegas and stuff that end up probably like blocking a good amount of the rain from entering our area, which yeah, I can appreciate. I mean, I know areas like Pahrump, which is in Nevada, not that far from California, definitely got hit a lot worse than us. But yeah, at the very least, we did get some quality rain here and there. I will admit though, today's storm was honestly stronger than anything I saw from the Hurricane Hillary. Not gonna lie, like we got some very strong rain today.
Alright. Any storm stories over in the Bay Area?
Well, luckily we were out of the path of Hillary, so we didn't really, get full effect. We did have some rain on Monday, but more like a drizzle, and we kind of lost power on Wednesday without because of high heat and fire risk rather than the rain. Other than that, weather's been fine. It's no longer hellishly hot. Still kind of high temperature today, but other than that, it's been sailing for us. What about you, Luke? How's it over there in Chilliwack?
We had a very funny thunderstorm. It lasted 5 minutes, and it was a couple of booms, and then one extremely loud boom. And that was it.
It basically, it sounded like, and then it was done.
But like a lot louder.
I will say, because I see the comments, I see a useless guy's comment. I gotta say this, considering living in Vegas, the closest thing we've had to a tornado are dust devils, and I gotta say, yeah, I never want to experience a tornado. Like, it's like, that shit, especially if it's at night, like, it's like, oh god, that sounds horrible. What I have to think about.
Yeah, it was really crazy, man. The sky was piss yellow, and there was the constant booming of thunder. It wasn't stopping for half an hour straight, and fucking the power did this weird will it stay on or won't it thing before eventually deciding to shut off after 2 minutes, and then obviously, hearing the tornado sirens going off and it not being a drill is certainly something else.
Yeah.
That sounds scary, y'all.
Yeah, shit got me quaking in my boots.
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, we read the comments, so yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like something that is... Storms are crazy. But yeah, just make sure you all stay safe. Also, important notes, if you're not in the Discord server yet, link is always in the description down below. We will be opening the Sicko Cabana up tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We'll be watching Rutgers versus Northwestern.
Yes, the absolute peak sicko of Big Ten football right there. if it can somehow manage to top the game that was Nebraska and Minnesota this past
That
Thursday.
was fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
Of course, there will only be one true Whopper Bowl in my heart, and that was fucking Vipers Guardians.
Yeah.
Whopper.
We're also. We'll also see about we also will see about
This reminds me of a book I read as a child.
we'll see about a couple other, we might do a couple other games.
The Earth.
We'll see about a couple of them.
Alright, so, you ready to
But in that we have that in mind, we have divisions to preview still.
Yeah, and I believe we picked the AFC West first.
Yes,
which means,
we did.
which means alphabetically, our first team to talk about is, of course, the Denver Broncos.
Broncos country, let's ride.
Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. Broncos country,
Broncos.
let's ride. Broncos country, let's ride. I think for Seattle fans, I know we're still salivating, just drooling, going like, oh my god, Russell Wilson is a giant
We'll explore this cave.
flop.
With any luck, we'll stumble across a mineral deposit or two.
Oh, to be fair, he is just flop.
Yeah, Russell Wilson flopped. Everybody's like, oh my god, LMAO, what a flop. This and that, X, Y, and Z.
I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of reports like, OMG, they got Sean Payton! They're gonna be good! Oh my god, Sean Payton! Remember 2009? Sean Payton! Sean Payton!
I know.
Yeah, I'm quite sure if, like, you know, that sort of nostalgia is gonna work. We'll see, but
I hope it
I mean,
I hope it falls flat on their faces.
Here's the thing. How many times have we heard this phrase before? Oh my god, guys, there's so much good changes to the Denver Broncos. They're going to be such a good team this year. Hey guys, did you know that we're going to be such a good team this year? We're going to be so great. And then what happens?
Nobody is talking about insert Broncos defense player here. Why is nobody talking about insert Broncos defensive player here?
Exactly. 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 It honestly, like, hey Broncos fans. This year, my best advice, taper your expectations, fellas.
yeah, for real, y'all.
You got Sean Payton, that's great. I think Sean Payton's a great coach.
I disagree.
Hey, Bounty Gate is one thing, right? The man served his time for that. But
I don't think he has, but I digress.
you know, but for real though, I think no matter how you really shake your leg at it, I think Denver Broncos could be in a better position, but it's just how they all put it together. He did, there's the greatest call out that was ever done, like completely dissed the entire coaching staff from the previous regime, and I got to agree with them. That was without a doubt the worst coaching job I have ever seen anybody do.
Nope.
It was bad though, cause how do you?
It was awful. It was awful. Like in terms of like pure
It was
offense,
bad,
like,
but I
in
wouldn't
terms of
call it the
what
worst.
Oh yeah, like the worst. It is among the worst. Like it's an awful job that Hackett and co. Hackett. I'm just gonna say Hackett because their defense actually still was damn good last season. But yeah, it's like In terms of like pure results, yeah, Hackett is right up there. I mean, the only reason he's not the worst is because the grind man still exists. That's the only reason he's not the worst. And
I had to suffer through fucking Matt Patricia while living in Michigan.
Well, I mean, Matt
Oh,
Patricia
Matt
was bad, but Matt
Patricia,
Patricia
man.
lasted more than 2 years.
1 year.
A year?
He
Okay.
was so fucking bad, dude. Like,
I know.
He was. He was indeed the worst I'd ever seen.
He was horrible.
and of course Leslie Frazier for the Vikings, Brad Childress for the Vikings.
Chip Kelly for the 49ers. Jim
Mike-
Abdullah for the 49ers.
Mike
Dennis-
Singletary.
Dennis
Does
Erickson
the
was
name,
pretty
does the name Mark, does the name Mark Trustman ring a bell?
Oh,
Mister, how many downs are in football?
I can go on about Nagy, and I can go on about the forgetfulness of Fox, but yeah, Trustman, for as awful as the last season and two of Nagy was, I feel like Trustman's still the worst one in recent memory. That was bad. That was really fucking bad.
He couldn't count to 4. He could not count to 4.
Yeah, that was bad.
yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
So
But
yeah,
anyways, regarding the Broncos, I feel like Denver, if I'm the Broncos, considering where Denver has been since the Super Bowl 50 victory and the retirement of Peyton, which ever since that timeline, Broncos have had just one winning season, and that came all the way back in 2016. So what you can probably take a guess as I'm going with this. If I'm the Broncos, this season, really all I want is just get a winning season. Just get a winning season for like your first time in almost a decade. Like, I feel like at the very least fans would appreciate being competitive, being respectable in terms of their record and all that. At the very least, much better than what they've had to seen during the fucking Vance Joseph, Vic Fangio, and of course the Hackett era, which, by the way, Vance Joseph is back as their defensive coordinator, which, how Met Joseph, I don't think he should be that. What the hell was that? I heard some static. Did anyone hear some static? I heard some
yeah, I
static.
did.
Oh.
I heard it. That's wrong.
Somebody give me a beat. I'm gonna list off all the quarterbacks who've started for the Denver Broncos since since Super Bowl 50.
Okay, here. Someone put like some music.
Trevor Sibian, Paxton Lynch, Brock Osweiler, Case Keenum, Joe Flacco, Drew Lock, Brandon Allen, Jeff Driscoll, Brett Rippin, Philip Lindsay, Teddy Bridgewater, Drew Lock again, Russell Wilson, there he is, Brett Rippin, oh piss. Who's gonna start for the Denver Broncos? Nobody knows. Fucking Broncos.
Yeah. Oh, Denver.
Fucking bars, am I right, boys?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, but, I mean, to me, for the Broncos, it's like, they always boast about how good the receiving core could be. I mean,
And they're already all injured.
and it's all injured.
Yeah.
They're already
Fucking
hurt, man.
kidding me.
This might go Jerry Judy a bust. Does that like
Oh no.
like given his lofty position, the fact he was considered one of the best wide receivers of his class?
Yeah, Jerry Judy.
I'll say more of a disappointment right now than a bust, but obviously you gotta see how that ends up playing out with him and his career and all of that, because you don't know when his last down will be. You don't know when any NFL player might pull a Trent Richardson.
I never knew that, I can't believe that, I never thought that Randy Moss would retire as a 49er, but,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Yeah, it
But-
doesn't help that Tim Patrick got hurt again, which nobody likes to see. That fucking sucks.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I do hope it, you know, I like to think that it might get better for the Denver
it will
Bron-
not be as bad as last
Yeah.
season. It cannot
It
be.
can't
It will not
be.
be as bad as last season.
It can't be,
That-
right?
That is rock bottom.
Exactly. Like,
That is
if-
rock bottom for a team. I
Mhm.
don't see it getting worse than that. It's just the question is, okay, how much better will it be? That's really the main question with Denver.
exactly.
By the way, if you go back to the 2022, the 2022 board, the who's gonna get in the playoffs and who's gonna be top 5 in the draft, I somehow called that the Broncos were gonna be shitty.
I did not see that coming.
Let's be honest, not many people saw it coming because, you know, Russ Wilson and all that stuff. But, you know,
Yeah.
So yeah, ladies, look for the guy in the Kroger parking lot with a Randy McMichael St. Louis Rams jersey. You know, one at a time, please. I understand that kind of foresight is very attractive, but one at a time.
But anyway, so for the overall record, my prediction for the Broncos, I think the Broncos still should have a very good defense. I think their defense should be fine. It's on Russell Wilson to, you know, kind of just piece this all together. And it is. It is on Wilson. I don't feel that you can hide it anymore.
Hang on, what the hell? Can you not... I'm sorry. I haven't used... Oh, there it is. There we go.
There you go.
There, that fixed it so much. Being able to freeze the top row.
We've got the stars to explore.
Oh, I'm using fucking.
Excel. I use Excel.
I'm using Excel like a pop star.
So, my win total, to me, the floor feels like it's 5 wins. That's Wilson doesn't, you know, really make any, I feel, genuine improvements.
Alright.
I feel Wilson doesn't do much to really advance his game. He regresses the whole year. Defense doesn't become what it once was, so, you know, doesn't piece together. I feel like the ceiling for them is 9 wins and being out of the wildcard spot by a game. I'm going 5-9.
Alright. But for some reason you have your ceiling before your floor. In some of these, Jesus, I don't mean to be that guy, but you need to fucking organize your spreadsheet better. Fuck.
Hey, ADD is just crazy, am I right?
This isn't even ADD, just clean your shit.
ADD's absolutely crazy.
God damn. People will really just be, like, living in an absolute dumpster and be like, fucking ADD, am I right?
Hell yeah! It's my superpower.
Alright,
I wonder if the Broken Spoon is
next?
still open. It's the only decent place in town to grab a drink.
I'll go. I don't see them. Honestly, with the Broncos, it's like, you know, it's not gonna be worse than last season, I think. Floor? What's their floor? I guess with the floor, I'll go 6 wins. I think the ceiling, though, I'll be a lot kinder with the ceiling, because Sean Payton, you know, he could do his stuff. Russell Wilson, I'll say with Russell Wilson, once Hackett was gone last season, like, once he got fired after the Patrick Star debacle, I will say it was only a couple of games, but he definitely looked a lot better. So with Sean Payton at the helm, I'll say it. I think their ceiling can be 12 wins. That's their ceiling. 6-12 is the good. Feels like the really like the good. The really like the way I just see this team as a very boom or bust team. It's honestly kind of similar to the Jets. Not gonna lie, with this team.
Very nice.
Alright, who's next? Could it be me? Or could it be Aiden?
Whoever it is, just say your
I'm
stuff.
gonna do it. So for the ceiling, I'm not sure if I can really trust the Broncos that much, because I don't know, like something they don't really seem to have to be 100%. Like I'll probably give them like 10 just to be a bit nice. Thus, even if Russ gets back to form, who knows if the hiring of Sean Payton could be beneficial. But they have to face Kansas City twice. They have to face the Chargers twice. I'm very confident in that team in general. The ceiling's 10. Floor, on the other hand, I mean, they have some high-end talent. We'll probably give them 7 just for the benefit of the doubt.
Alright. What you said their floor was? 7 and then 10?
Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Gravity will make surface
people-
traversal much easier.
You said it can't get much worse than it got last year, but I'm already starting to see cracks, and I think, the Broncos might actually get even worse. Not only are there a bunch of wide receivers getting injured, but, also unlike you, Luke, Nick, I didn't see much improvement
He
from
has a tab and
Russell
you don't
Wilson
use his
after
power.
Hackett got fired, and
I mean, the last couple of games he did better. I'm just saying he
He
did
did.
better. The last
He
couple of
did.
games. I'm just saying.
I just don't think it was entirely Hackett's fault, and
I'm not saying it's entirely Hackett's fault, but yeah, I get the point.
to me this, no offense, Nick, but to me this team just feels like the Bears with if you somehow slapped if you somehow slapped Josh Allen in the quarterback position.
I hope I can trust you.
Okay, so wait, which? I mean, I don't see this current Bears team as that. Like, which? Are you talking about like which? Wait.
Like the Trubisky era
Oh,
Bears.
Trubisky.
That's only
Alright,
one
yeah.
planet.
With like a
Hardly entire
random
troll.
running quarterback
Fine.
that is very tempted to go deep. As far as their floor goes, I'm gonna say 3 wins, and their ceiling 8 wins.
Yeah.
I'll just say though, I will just say this because I understand the points about this Broncos team. The only thing is, it's like, yes, I know Sean Payton can have his flaws, but at the same time, even with Bounty Gate and all of that, even with some of the disappointing results of the Saints here and there, I will say the man did, in his last recent season, I will say, did get the most out of that Saints team considering the quarterbacks he was having to work with. So, I'm just saying with this Broncos team, I can see him getting the most out of this team. But obviously a big test will be week 1 considering they play the Raiders, who the Broncos ended up getting swept by last season. So that's a huge test for them in my opinion, because if you win one of those games, that at the very least is already an improvement, because you ended up beating a team last season that was a train wreck that ended up sweeping you regardless. with a coach who Broncos fans absolutely despise. So, yeah, but we'll get to that. We'll get to the latter team later.
You know who? Ironically, you know what this team also reminds me of? The 1997 New Orleans Saints. The Ditka era Saints, where they had a great coach at one time, and he proceeded to just completely shit all over his legacy while he was a member of the Saints.
Yeah.
I could see that happening with Peyton and the Broncos. Just has a very similar vibe to me.
But I mean, the thing about it is, it's not like he traded his entire board for one player that you're banking on is gonna save the franchise.
Russell Wilson.
No, Russell Wilson's not
Well,
gonna
it
save
wasn't Peyton who did that. I mean, I get the comparison, but it wasn't the head coach who did that. I mean, and even I will admit, even for as great as Mike was, he was definitely past his prime by the time he got to NOLA. Definitely past his prime by that point.
It was like hearing like fucking like some glam metal band in the 90s.
Yeah, it's like well, I mean, at the worst case scenario, if Peyton ends up, I feel like the worst case scenario for Sean Payton would end up being, I don't know, maybe a fucking. Only thing I mean, well, in terms of music comparisons, I guess I could compare it to Father of All. That's the only thing I want to compare it to, in terms of trying to make a negative point.
Right,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
if I had to point to a specific album for Ditka in New Orleans, I'd have to say Generation Swine.
Generation. Oh yeah, that one. Yeah. That sounds very, very appropriate for him. But anyways, I think we said all we can say about the Broncos. We got other teams to do.
Please be more exciting this year, because otherwise we will keep up on that promise we made during the principal's office, where we said we would use the Denver segment to talk about literally anything else.
How's it going? Can I help you?
Yeah, for real.
Alright, now, then K comes before L. Yeah. Kansas City Chiefs. As long as you have Patrick Mahomes, you're fine.
I agree.
As long as you have
Even-
Patrick, you'll be fine.
And honestly, even if he does have issues with that ankle again, I think Chad Henne has proven himself to be more than capable as a backup.
Well, he's good. He's very experienced.
And don't forget Andy Reid, y'all. Andy Reid is like a go-to head coach.
Yeah, Andy Reid will do what he has to do. I mean, even if, as much as I would love to laugh at who the bald offensive coordinator is, unfortunately, I feel like Reid's just going to be the one controlling that offense still. So.
Yeah, I'm not worried about stuff. I would never be really too worried about the Kansas City Chiefs.
And hey, you guys won a Super Bowl for the second time in 4 years. That's gotta be something,
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, nothing to lose with this. Really, nothing to lose with this Chiefs team. I feel like I really don't have much to comment, because yeah, it's the Super Bowl team. It's the best team in football. Not much to really comment with this Chiefs team. So I'm just gonna get my floor and ceiling out of the way for this. My floor for the Chiefs, 9 wins. My ceiling, 15.
Same here. Honestly, there's only really one big issue with the Chiefs, and that's whether Chris Jones signs or not. And honestly, I think he's just gonna sign. It's the same shit's happening with Nick Bosa. They're
They want
both gonna
contract.
sign.
They want contract extensions and longevity.
Speaking of contracts, the Vikings have just extended T.J. Hawkinson, which that's pretty
That's
cool.
amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, going back to Kansas City, they're gonna sign Chris Jones. Everyone knows that. All the contract issues with Jones, Bosa, etc. They're gonna sign. It's all just smoke and mirrors created by the media. Because all these sports media is mostly tabloid nowadays. But anyways, Chiefs. Floor 12, ceiling 17. There, I'm that confident in that team.
Okay.
I'm going. I think their floor is 10. Their ceiling is 12. A lot shorter range. I feel like I still doubt the receiving core because Juju Smith-Schuster is a really reliable piece. He's not somebody that's gonna get him a lot, but I feel like if defenses can figure out that it's Travis Kelce that you're going to.
Well, this team said no
Yeah.
Tyreek, no problem, so
Yeah.
I don't see how receiving core can be that much of an issue
You will
for.
see what they have to fix at receiving core. We will have to see what they have to fix. But yeah, I won't lie. Definitely weaker than other years, but still, we'll just have to see what happens with the receiving core. They should still be fine though.
Oh, yeah, it should be fine.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Aiden's prediction. 12 to 17 wins. This team is just the belle of the ball.
Oh yeah, they'll be good.
They'll be great. I don't see. I'm one who rarely ever does the undefeated prediction. I feel like that is the only one, so I stay for the absolute most hyped and proven teams possible. And as great as this Chiefs team is, I'm not gonna do the 17-1 just yet this season.
I'm that confident because it's
Yes, I know. Andy Reid, it's Patrick Mahomes. It's the proven commodity.
and also because red and white teams really thrive in the NFL.
Yeah, they do.
They do.
Anyway, we have another team we need to get to, and
Let's
that's
talk about funnier teams.
Yeah.
the Raiders.
Los Angeles. Isn't it the
It's Las Vegas. Yeah, okay, yeah, it actually is the
Chargers.
Raiders first because Los versus Los is, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Las Vegas versus Los Angeles.
Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
LA.
LA, dude. We guys heard of LA.
Oh, dude.
Oh boy, the Raiders. The fact that I'm hearing them clamoring at the teat for who is it? Aiden O'Connell?
Yes, Aiden O'Connell, yes.
Yeah. Not related to me, by the way.
Are you?
Not related to Kevin O'Connell.
I mean, are you guys that desperate?
I will say.
He
I
does
will
look
say-
good. He does look good.
I do want to say, because I did see the Raiders preseason games, because of course I live in Vegas, I get those games. And yeah, for more than one reason, I'm sure you can imagine one of the reasons. I can basically guarantee O'Connell's going to start at least a game this season.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I'm calling that for a multitude of reasons, considering anyone who knows the history with Jimmy G can see why I'm saying that.
Yeah, see, I thought the crazy thing was people were clamoring for Gruden back because McDickass was so bad.
It's not like they can get Gruden back anyways. Apart from, the entire scandal, they still have to pay a load of money to Josh McDumbass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck it, John Gruden 3.0. He's gonna bring 1980. I'm gonna bring 1998 back again, man.
Let's see. I will admit. Wait, go on.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you this to you Raiders fans as someone whose starting quarterback was Jimmy Garoppolo. First of all, yeah, you're gonna see Aiden O'Connell start because it's not a question of if, but when Garoppolo gets injured. And number two, if you all expected him to be, the franchise savior and all that, you're here's the thing. He played with he played under Kyle Shanahan with a loaded offense, and he still couldn't win a fucking Super Bowl. You're gonna need more than that.
You have to
And
realize they haven't won a playoff game since 2002, so the
Yeah.
floor is a lot low. Their
I mean, the thing with
expectations are a
Jimmy
lot
G,
lower than that.
the thing with Jimmy G is I've always viewed him more as like shoot, how do I want to describe this? I've always viewed him more as a stability quarterback than like a franchise quarterback or close to that. Like he's always felt more like a quarterback that just, will keep the position stable for the time being until you find someone better. Like that's mainly how I view Jimmy G.
I view
and that's
him.
true.
I view him a lot how like the national media views Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say I feel like Cousins is definitely the better quarterback. It's just Jimmy G. It's and I also say that I also describe him as like a stable quarterback to have, like just a stable QB to
Somebody
have.
pick up the phone.
Yep. Thank you for picking up the phone, Dad. Thank you for picking up the phone. Thank you for not wasting time doing that. But yeah, but like I do describe him as a stable quarterback because the Niners quarterback situation before Jimmy G was it really gotten bad up until 2017 where at least Jimmy G did give him some form of stability for for a good while. And I think
Yeah,
that's what he brought in.
I'm not exactly gonna offend anybody when I say that Blaine Gabbert is not a quarterback number one.
Yeah.
Whoa there, motherfucker.
In the real world, Blaine Gabbert shouldn't even be near an NFL roster.
Yeah.
But Blaine Gabbert somehow got more money. Okay, he's a chief now, which means if fucking Mahomes goes down, there goes Blaine Gabbert onto the field.
By the way, Chiefs, if Gabbert goes on the field, good luck. Sincerely, a Niners.
I mean, here's the thing. If I'm going to be nice for a little bit. This
Blaine
team
Gabbert?
is still this team on paper is not terrible. You still have Devontae Adams. You still have Josh Jacobs. You still have really good pieces to build around, right? You still have pieces to build something around them. You still have potentially, maybe your future is, and I can't believe it's coming out of my mouth, Aiden O'Connell. You could yeah, that felt weird to say. You could it might be Aiden O'Connell. It could be your starting quarterback for a while. But let me finish. But
Sorry.
yeah. But the thing that I think Raiders should be fully on board for, Caleb Williams. I do not know how, you're going to be bad. You're in the toughest division. But Caleb Williams, who has a higher ceiling than probably Aiden O'Connell, who just might best be an average quarterback, who also has been scouted to have a higher ceiling than the two quarterbacks in this draft in C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young. Not Trevor Lawrence high, but like someone who's fairly high up. Someone who's really well that you can't miss. And even if you don't get him, Drake May is still there. Drake May is available. And there's other really good quarterbacks.
Like Drake May.
Yeah, in this class too. It's not the end of the world to be bad. It's not like 2 years ago where if you're bad, there's no number one quarterback to take in this draft. It's just whatever you can find.
And
This is the
worst
year where the
case-
Raiders embrace being bad. However,
Yeah.
Josh McDaniels is still going to be here. I don't think that motherfucking Mark Davis fucking bull haircut looking ass motherfucker.
SpongeBob pineapple looking ass.
Yeah. He's gonna
Ted from Ned's Declassified.
if you fire Josh McDaniels, he will be paying for 3 head coaches. What organization wants to do that? There's nary an organization that is be willing to pay for 3 head coaches. Josh Jacobs is what's Mike McDaniel's contract? How many years does he have
Josh
left?
McDaniels. Let's take a look at the Josh McDaniels contract, and
'Cause-
also looking at him in Google Images, he's like if 2002 got a wish to become a real boy.
By the way, McDaniels, he earns he earns $10 million per year. By the way.
Yeah, making him one of the 10 highest paid coaches in the NFL. And he signed a 4-year deal, which means this is year 2, which means we have at least 2 more years of Josh fucking McDaniels.
Yeah.
You're fucked.
All right, I'm gonna.
Wait,
do
how many
my
more
pick
years?
for-
2 more years after this one.
That's not bad.
It's a
I mean,
4-year
you're stuck
deal.
with him well, basically you could be stuck with him for 2 more years, and then it's like, you know. Oh,
But
wow.
still, you're fucked.
Yeah, so my floor, my ceiling for the Raiders. I'm sorry, Raiders, but I'm not gonna be nice to y'all. I mean, y'all ain't gonna get the Buccaneers or Colts treatment because you still have some high-end talent in there, but your floor is 2 wins. That's how bad it could go. 2 wins. But hey, Caleb Williams is in for the taking, so not bad. Just have to be worse than the Colts and the Buccaneers. But for the ceiling, even if things go well, even if Garoppolo somehow goes back to 2019 form and things go right, I can only see them going up to 8 because honestly, I do not trust Josh McDaniels. Josh McDaniels sucks. There you go. I said it.
He chased not exactly the hottest take of 2023.
Yeah,
I
Josh
mean-
McDaniels is the hinder of NFL coaches. If Josh McDaniels was a
No,
band, he'd be
he was-
hinder.
He would be fucking Buck Cherry. Hey,
Yeah, that works
y'all
too.
crazy bitch, but you fuck so good I'm on top of it when I dream. Doing you all night on a wedding. Yeah. Anyway, Nick, welcome to the Bad Butt Rock podcast. I'm your host, Car Sausage Kroger.
All right, y'all. So,
My
Nick,
floor.
man, your neck.
Oh yeah, I'll let
Oh.
it go. I'll let you go.
Okay, the way I see this Raiders team, it's like there is high-end talent here. Obviously, getting Josh Jacobs back, having Devontae Adams. I mean, still having Hunter Renfrow. Hopefully, he can be healthy. That's very productive to have him. And hell, you even have still the most hated man in Boston right now, in Jacoby Myers. So yeah, you have him as your wide receiver number 3, which I'll admit, wide receiver number 3, that works out well. I mean, for the defense, you still have Crosby, obviously. Marcus Peters, getting him at cornerback should help. I mean, I'll say, like, in terms of the Raiders defense, they definitely look to be, in terms of, like, what I saw preseason, they definitely look to have a bit more more pieces on defense. Like, nothing spectacular, but at the very least, it's like, okay, there's at least a little more something to work with here, which, yeah, I mean, they will definitely need that. And yes, I know he has probably no creative input on the Raiders defense, but I still find it absolutely hilarious that their senior defensive assistant is Rob Ryan. I still find that absolutely hilarious.
Oh my god!
How is this guy still getting NFL jobs? Seriously.
Like, I know he probably doesn't have much to do with the actual defense, but goddamn, that's pretty funny to see him
He
still
comes up
here.
with plays and they essentially try and think of the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, seriously, like NFL teams, PSA, don't hire Rob Ryan in the future.
Friends
Yeah.
don't let friends hire Robert Ryan.
Exactly.
But yeah, Raiders are a team where it's like, in terms of like talent-wise, I don't see them being, like now that I've seen a bit more of them, I don't see them being the worst team in the NFL. But I don't think it's out of the question that they could be the worst team. It's just the talent, there's enough talent with this Raiders team where it's like, I don't think it's going to happen. But it would be pretty funny if it did happen, because it still feels very possible considering they have Josh McDaniels as head coach. And that's the big problem here, is because they have a head coach that nobody can trust. And yeah, I think that's really what's going to kill them in the end. So I'm going to go ceiling first for the Raiders. I think the Raiders ceiling, like, honestly, I feel like I don't see his team really doing much better than last season. I think my feeling for them is 6 wins, mainly because they still playing in a very competitive AFC West, and unfortunately, even with the talent there, that's no easy task for any team, let alone a team coached by Josh McDaniels. And their floor, I'm gonna go 1. I'm not gonna go 0. I'm not gonna do 0, but I think a 1-win Raider team doesn't feel out of the question. If there ends up being a shit ton of drama again, like there has been for God knows how long with this team.
Yeah, it's been lots. There's a soap opera.
Alright.
Alright, ceiling 6, floor 3. Now get the fuck out of my face.
I'm actually gonna give a bit more insight than that. You know what this Raiders team reminds me a lot of? An older Raiders team, back when they were in Oakland. The 2006 Oakland Raiders. Remember the Art Shell 2.0 Raiders?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Art Shell.
Yeah, where they had the deadly quarterback trio of Aaron Brooks, Marquez Tuiasosopo, and Andrew Walter. Remember when they had Randy Moss, who refused to play any good football? Remember when they had past his prime Warren Sapp?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the vibes this team is giving me. So, honestly, floor 1, ceiling 4.
I do want to say, it's funny looking at the Raiders, the 2006 Raiders Wikipedia page, because I just see that they had a top 10 defense, but their offense was so god-awful it didn't fucking matter. They literally averaged 10.5 points per game.
Jesus
Dear
Christ!
Lord, that bad?
Yeah, they got shut out by the St. Louis Rams.
Oh my god. Like, literally, the only thing memorable from that season is that they beat the Steelers. That's literally the only good thing to come out of that season.
And you know, their prize for being so bad at this game, in this year, Jamarcus Russell. Yay!
Lord. Good fucking Lord. No wonder I used to look at NFL attendance in like the late 2000s stuff, and it's like late 2000s, early 2010s. I just noticed like, gee, no wonder Raiders attendance got so fucking bad for these games. I don't blame them for not wanting to fucking show up to these games.
For fucking Aaron Brooks and Jamarcus Russell.
I would point I'd rather have
fucking name right there.
Andrew. Andrew, does he even play football anymore? Well, never mind.
Also, Josh McCown was on the 2007 Raiders, just a random fact among the state.
I'll have to remember that for when I play Immaculate Grid.
Let's be honest, Josh McCown is like a blunt. NFL news pass him around.
Him and Ryan Fitzpatrick. So, yet somehow Fitzpatrick was never on the Browns. I still have a hard time believing that.
Yeah, I know. How has he never done the Browns?
Yeah, how's he never done the Browns?
How has he never done the Browns, man?
He should
Maybe
come
he
back
has-
for one more year.
Maybe at standards.
Just come back for one more year for the Cleveland Browns just to say he's played there.
If my choice were either retirement or playing for the Browns, I'd rather play in freaking Bosnia.
Oh, I would not even want to touch Cleveland with the 5-foot thing. Anyways, now it's time for the Chargers!
So the Chargers, I mentioned during the AFC East preview that I felt like the Miami Dolphins were the NHL equivalent to the Calgary Flames. I feel like this is the NFL equivalent of the Florida Panthers, especially around the 2016-2017 mark, where they went gung ho about analytics. Even though their issues are largely luck, and their analytics guy is a fucking idiot. Like, no offense, but
Yeah.
Brandon Staley is just. He might be one of the worst. He might be one of the worst McVay disciples.
It could be, I mean, it could be fair, it could be because their offensive coordinators are all bad.
Well,
And-
I will say
And then they proceeded to sign Kellen Moore, which I don't know how to feel about that, considering his accomplishments in Dallas. The brave and controversial choice to have Ezekiel Elliott as your offensive center.
I mean, I feel like if he at least lets Herbert go deep, I feel like fans will already like him better than Lombardi, though, so I'll just say that.
Yeah, but this kind of reminds me of when the Lions went from Joe Lombardi to a guy you might have heard of, Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah, I know.
Remember
That's
Jim
a
Bob
name.
Cooter?
I
That's a
just know how insanely
name.
dirty his name is.
He. By the way, he's currently the offensive coordinator of the Colts.
Yeah.
I am not surprised.
Fucking Jim Bob Cooter. Was James Robert Vagina taken?
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm gonna go and imitate. I'm gonna pretend I'm the LA Chargers.
Classic choking team.
It was 27-0. It was 27-0, and you had 4 turnovers on them. What the hell were you doing? Did analytics tell you to choke that game away?
Knowing Brandon Staley, most likely yes.
Fucking Irv. Actually, it's better to play in the hole than out of it.
Heck, even when they had an advantage, had a 35-0 advantage, and they still fucked it up. I'm sorry, Chargers. You guys make the Sharks seem clutch.
Actually, it's better if we lose the game because it'll strengthen us for when we have to go for our next game. Mr. Staley, you do realize that was a playoff game, you know, you lose, you go home. What?
What?
You know, with this Chargers team, genuinely, like, the way I see this Chargers team, I do not see this team being bad, but I feel like this is a team that will be frustratingly mediocre if things fall apart again. That's how I genuinely view the Chargers. This is not going to be, I mean, Justin Herbert, as long as Justin Herbert can play like he will play, I mean, they won't be bad, but it's like this team just feels like it's going to be very frustrating. Especially because, I mean, no one should have trust in Brandon Staley. The fact that, I gotta say, I have seen a good amount of Brandon Staley defenders out there. And here's the thing, I will say this. Staley's a great locker room guy, he's a great defensive coordinator. His 2020 season for Rams proved that. But his head coaching tenure has been an inconsistent mess, most remembered for massive blunders, whether it be literally calling a timeout for no fucking reason against the Raiders that ended up costing you spot in the playoffs, or of course the choke against Jacksonville.
I'm gonna.
Just the way I see it with this Brandon Staley.
I'm gonna say something, and it might not make much sense, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I think Kevin O'Connell took all of Brandon Staley's clutchness. You know, like
That would be a great theory, actually, not gonna lie.
you know, both of them are from the McVay tree. You know, one is the offensive coordinator and one's the defensive coordinator. One of them both had crazy, weird, inconsistent games.
Yeah.
One of them managed to win all of them, and the other one just gets the bed.
Yep, that is a trade-off I don't think any coach wants to take right there if you're on the losing end of that. But yeah, I'll give my floor and ceiling for the Chargers. My floor for the Chargers, 7 wins, I'll go 7, and my ceiling, I'll go 11. This is a frustrating team that will still easily be competing for a playoff spot unless all shit goes to hell or Justin Herbert gets injured, which, if that happens, then it's just gonna be like, okay, what the fuck are we doing?
Oh man, 7-Eleven. I love their spinning little hot dogs.
Yeah.
We don't have 7-Elevens by us anymore, you know that? What about you? You got any 7-Elevens by you?
I got 3.
Got one right near us.
Well, Morgan Hill's a small town, so only 7-Elevens like in the area that's kind of close to San Jose. There's still something at 7-Elevens in San Jose. It's mostly in like low-income areas, though. So yeah.
Yeah, the only 7-Eleven near me is all the way out in Zealand, and my ass is not driving fucking half an hour just to get a goddamn Slurpee.
Gas stations do that all the while. And they don't even have like soft serve.
Yeah. So anyways, floor and ceiling for them. I'm gonna say the floor is, they still have high-end talent despite how terrible their coach is. So I'm gonna say 8 wins is the floor. As for the ceiling, I'm gonna be a bit nice, 13. But then again, that's a hidden meaning because 13 is an unlucky number, and you know how the Chargers' luck is in the playoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Best case scenario, you go back to the Super Bowl, and it's a repeat of that Super Bowl in the 90s where you get ass blasted by the 49ers.
I mean,
like, imagine you guys finally shed your choking label and you finally go to the Super Bowl despite friends Staley being Brandon Staley, and all of a sudden you meet the Niners and they destroy you 49-0 behind.
No, we need to make it more ironic. He faces off against Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings, and the fucking McVay weird Juju curse strikes again.
And the Vikings are finally gonna win the Super Bowl. Thank
Hell
goodness.
yeah.
Heck yeah. Oh,
Ba-
that was so
basically, basically the Chargers. You in the playoffs, you're like the San Jose Sharks. The only acceptable outcome is failure.
fun.
So,
The Chargers. There's so much that I wanted that you can make up about the Chargers, you know, as a unit. It's so classic Chargers. It's the greatest curse known to man. It's sometimes good, it's sometimes bad, but most of the time it is the bad. Chargers have a
okay, now I can see why my dad thinks you sound like the parrot from Aladdin.
Shut the fuck up.
No, seriously, I can hear it. It sounds like Iago.
Alright, you motherfuckers! Just stop it! You
No.
You're
bastard!
not helping your case, dude.
Trying, alright? So, the thing with the Chargers is they are, without a doubt, cursed. I feel like whenever there's a good that happens, a bunch of bad things are bound to happen. They're still going to be a very good team. They're still going to be in there. I mean, floor is like 7 wins and ceiling's like 11. They'll still be the bane of the Chiefs' existence, but they're still going to find the most Chargers way to lose. And then they find a year in and year out how to one-up their chargering.
This team reminds me a lot of the like the final years of the Mike Zimmer era, where they weren't clutch at all, but like, you know, they still suffered a lot. That's why my floor for them is 8 wins. But my ceiling is 9.5 wins. Now you may be saying, but Sausage, how do you get a half a win? They tie, my good friend, they tie. Who do they tie to? Well, I think that the Chargers are gonna fucking tie against the goddamn, I think they're gonna tie against the Lions.
That'd be the most Lions thing ever.
And the most Chargers fan ever, too.
The Detroit Lions.
Yeah. And by the way, I'm pretty sure the Chargers still have to pay rent at SoFi.
$1. $1.
Yeah.
Seriously, go back to San Diego.
They can't. That stadium's torn down.
If you're not gonna do San Diego, do Mexico or something. I don't know.
Next stop, St. Louis, baby. Woo!
Cartels
Wait,
could
no.
own the Chargers better than Dean Spanos.
Yeah.
I'm telling
Wait.
you, St. Louis, baby. Woo!
Wait, I got a better idea. Bring them to Chico, Aaron Rodgers' hometown.
That is true.
I believe we have another division to talk about because of the tornado. I don't know why it did that. Get out of here, Diplo.
Sounded like you were trying to make this sound.
Yeah. Let me find that real quick. Yeah, sort of a bit of a, you know,
Yeah.
tornado.
Tornado. Oh god, I better stop this. Let me use this metal pipe to stop it. Okay, problem solved.
Alright, who do we start off with? The Bungles?
The Ravens.
The
Oh,
Baltimore
Ravens.
Ravens.
B is for Baltimore.
Well, the good news is you managed to keep Lamar Jackson around and make him the highest paid quarterback for 2 seconds.
Bad news is
John Harbaugh is still your head coach.
and also there's still always the option that Lamar becomes Lamar G3.
No, not Lamar G3. Lamar has got... Well, he's injured, but hasn't had a major injury that has completely kept him off the sideline. I think last year, especially given his injury circumstance, it was... I don't have a long-term deal in place. I'm going to keep my interests first before the team, which... I don't know how you do that just for your team, but I can get the business decision from a personal standpoint.
And hey, more good news from the Ravens camp. Greg Roman is gone! Hang on, where's that fucking sound? Right, here it is. Greg Roman is gone! Yay!
I feel like that's really good. I mean, you look at it from the standpoint, there was just so much nonsense that was happening with the, the Bengals in the offseason.
Bengals.
Sorry, the Ravens in the offseason. And I think they're just glad that they're ready to get back to some football. I mean, the thing that really stings about it is they have a franchise quarterback, but so does everybody else. Your division is going to be one of the toughest that I've ever have seen in the NFL. Yes, even with the massage my balls man Watson.
Deshaun Cosby.
Deshaun Cosby.
Deshaun Cosby.
The NFL version of Mineta from MHA.
No. Let's not make that joke. Darren Sharper. 2.0. Let's make that joke.
Exactly.
The way I see it with the Baltimore Ravens, just for the love of God, can y'all stay healthy for like 5 minutes, please? I mean, they're doing a better job this offseason staying healthy than they have others, but at the same time, it's like, it really is the big question with this team is, can they stay healthy for like at least a considerable amount of time? Because yes, injuries will happen, but like, it feels like the amount of injuries the Ravens have gone through like the past 3 seasons has been off the damn charts. Like it's too much to keep track of.
If the NFLPA thing is any sort of metric to go off of, it really sounds like the athletic training staff was a big problem in Baltimore.
Yeah.
I did hear about that.
Hopefully it's better.
Yeah. I will say this with Baltimore, I mean, I feel like in terms of the receiving core, the core they have for the receivers, and obviously not counting Mark Andrews, because obviously he's the tight end, but in terms of their like main wide receivers, this has the potential, and I'm saying potential for a reason, this has the potential to be the best receiving core that Lamar has had in Baltimore. And I say potential for a reason, because obviously you drafted Zay Flowers. I really like that pick. Very talented young receiver. OBJ, there's so many question marks with OBJ. You know, will he play like he did with the Rams and that Super Bowl run before he ended up tearing his Achilles, I believe it was what he tore?
I just haven't been excited for Odell since since quarantine.
Yeah, I
The-
mean, it did suck though that he got injured because he was it did feel like he was being productive again, but of course, injury god said no more of
Injuries,
you.
we've had enough fun. The thing, I mean, given the fact that also my sister is a trainer, I've asked her some questions, especially when it comes to, you know, a lot of common injuries that we do often see on the gridiron. And one thing that I asked was, is it possible to be able to come back from a torn ACL after 9 months of tearing it? She said, you can, but you will never be able to regain the speed that you once had. It's going to be a massive buildup.
There is only one person I know who has come back from an injury like that in dramatic fashion, and that guy is Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
So, the smart thing that Odell did something incredibly smart. He actually took the full year off to fully recover and rehab from his ACL injury. He's 100% and he's good to go. Question is how much rust is he going to be showing?
All of it, and also his ass. I have a $500 bet that Odell will have his news leaked.
What? What?
Pretend I never said that.
I mean, even though at the end of the day, the Ravens are still insanely talented, but are you...
He's pulling his cock out!
Yeah.
Is this core better than the Bengals? I can't wait to be watching a lot of Baltimore and Cincinnati football. Those games are going to be some good fucking games. They're gonna be good.
And good fucking games too, you know. Good games to fuck to. Hey baby, why don't we turn on fucking Lamar Jackson versus Joe Burrow while we get busy.
God fucking damn it.
He's pulling his cock out!
Do it again.
So,
we really need a spritz sound effect for
Spritz, bad, spray, bad,
Yeah,
Spencer.
seriously, y'all.
Um,
You're acting like those guys who thirst over Mrs. Smith.
Ceiling.
Look, hear me out! Fucking hear me out, bro! Come on! For the love of God, please hear me out!
No.
Ceiling. We're gonna go. I think their ceiling is 14 wins. They're still incredibly good. Lamar Jackson's incredible. He's still a very good passer.
Alright, what was your
Still
floor
is a very
again?
good passer. Floor, I'm gonna go 9. AFC too hard, lol.
I'm actually
Okay.
gonna be in the same boat in terms of floor and ceiling. In terms of floor, I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt because, you know, Lamar is still a great quarterback and John Harbaugh is still a good coach, and they finally don't have Greg Roman anymore, which is good. So I'm gonna give a floor of 10 and a ceiling of 13.
All right. I also wanted to add in terms of receivers because it will be interesting to see if someone ends up taking that wide receiver 3 spot between Rashad Bateman and Nelson Aguilar. Because I'll admit, like, yeah, and I know Aguilar has the memes and all that, and Bateman's been injured to hell. But I feel like if they can both of them can be productive and healthy, I definitely think they would. I think at least one of them can fill the role of wide receiver 3 pretty well. Which, you know what, that's something that I feel like Baltimore has really lacked in terms of just having like that many quality receivers with that, you know, Lamar could just, you know, pass to and make something happen with. And obviously, running back question will obviously be big because yes, Lamar runs, but also even when you have a great running quarterback, you need a productive running back in the backfield to help as well. And I mean, granted, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. You have Gus Edwards, you have Justice Hill, can, you know, be productive. Hopefully, J.K. Dobbins doesn't get killed by the injury gods again. And you also have Patrick Ricard, who is a fullback, so base. Very, very base having a fullback on your roster.
Fullbacks represent, and also, you know, can we count on? Oh wait, sorry. I'll let you finish your piece.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I do want to make a point about their defense, because for as frustrating as their season was last season, their defense was definitely the highlight, because there really is a young defensive core showing with the Ravens in both the secondary and, you know, the line, the front, defensive line, linebackers and all that. Like, there's definitely something really working out with Mike McDonald and all that. I mean, really, for me, the big question will be, how does Todd Monken do with Lamar and handling the offense? Because obviously he did a well job at Georgia. Even if that wasn't the flashiest offense in the world and more well known for their defense, he still got the job done in terms of what he had to do with Georgia and, you know, gain them to success in college football. So that will be the big question. So I guess in terms of floor and ceiling, my floor for the Ravens is 8 wins. My ceiling, I'll go 13. I think that's just like there's still stuff I need to be proven about with this Ravens team, but I definitely feel like this is a team that can bounce back this season.
I have a bit of a hot take regarding Todd Monken. I don't think he's that good as an offensive coordinator because you know, I'm not seeing him as the savior for Lamar Jackson like a lot of pundits are. Especially because the last time he coordinated an offense in the NFL, it was the Freddie Kitchens Browns.
Yeah,
And,
I know.
You know, the Freddie Kitchens Browns, and before that, it was the it was the fucking Josh McCown Buccaneers. Who was their goddamn head coach?
That was
back?
Fitzpatrick, I believe. Fitzpatrick was
The Todd Bowles Buccaneers.
Wait, I think that was before Bowles, actually.
Wait.
Oh, Dirk, fuck, I can't pronounce
Oh,
Dirk.
the Dirk Cutter Bucks.
Yeah. That Bucks team, yeah.
But yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of I'm not seeing a lot of good in his NFL time.
I mean, to be fair, I will say with that Bucks team, their defense was a much bigger issue than the offense, considering how that team did. But yeah, I mean, anything associated with that Freddie Kitchens season's not going to look good.
And you know, personally, you know, I don't think you know, Lamar is gonna hit peak poop mode anytime soon. So you know, my floor for them is 7, and my ceiling is 11. Nick, man, what was your floor and ceiling? I forgot.
My floor was 8, my ceiling was 13.
Alright. Alright, next up we got the Bungles.
I feel like it's so wrong calling the Bungles, but yet so feels...
It just feels so intimately familiar, like
It does.
Yeah.
like snuggling with your girlfriend, you know.
Yeah.
You sit down, you're like, hey honey, how was your day? And they say, oh, the Bungles, they bungled again.
Oh, you know the Bungles. They did it again.
Who they?
Failures.
Ooh,
I miss those days of calling them the shit team. I just miss it. I miss them being like the tier of being able to get clowned on by everybody else in the NFL. I enjoyed their owner being a clueless idiot. I just miss a whole lot about them, you know? But no! The Cincinnati Bengals are yet in a great position of being one of the best, of being like an actual class of the AFC yet again. Joe Burrow has been without a doubt one of the biggest blessings to the area. Now, the $1 million question is, what are they willing to do this offseason? This upcoming offseason? Alright, because Joe Burrow's going to need a contract extension. Jamar Chase is going to need a contract extension. And those two's connection, inseparable. They are. Those two are very inseparable when it comes to the gridiron. They have a beautiful chemistry together. And even then, all other pieces around them are still very good. Joe Mixon took a pay cut to still be with this team. Who was the receiver they took in the second round the same year that they drafted Joe Burrow?
Was it T. Higgins? Maybe?
Yeah, T. Higgins.
Okay, yeah, T. Higgins, yeah.
T. Higgins could be a number one on another team. Still really good, you know. I don't think it's anything that to really worry about. If anything, you're just going to be worried about the offseason. And if you think the Ravens had a very uncomfortable offseason, just imagine what you'll have to go through this coming offseason. I mean, at the end of the day, you guys are going to be fine. The only downside is your division. There's a benefit to being in a really crappy division, but the fact that you're in one of the worst divisions in one of the most competitive divisions in football, it's not good, you know? Could injuries start piling up in key places? Absolutely. I think it's surviving the NFC North gauntlet. And if they can survive that, this is going to be a huge team to watch come playoff time. They are going to be very, very good. And they're going to be tough to beat when it comes to playoff time. Back-to-back deep playoff runs. If the defense can't pull it all together, then can the offense help them? Can the offense help them enough to where they're able to win a lot of games consistently? And it's, again, toughest division in football. So with that in mind, purely based on being the toughest division in football, I'm giving your ceiling 12 wins purely because you have a brutal schedule. It's going to be tough. Ceiling 12, floor 9. Game on, boys.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of have the same feeling about the Bengals. The one thing that is great against them is their tough division, but other than that, Burrow is him. He's him. And probably the only other thing holding them back is probably Zach Taylor being iffy, but even then, Joe Burrow. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow. So, based on the high-end talent, their floor, if shit goes wrong, if Zach turns out to be a hack, probably I'm gonna go to the company line, say 9 as the floor. And ceiling, I'll be honest here, even with a tough schedule, I am kind of optimistic about them. 13.
Uh, what was your floor?
9.
Sorry,
See, not so easy now, is it?
Ugh.
Not
I-
so. No, you're doing your best, Spencer. I appreciate you. You're allowing me to play.
Sorry, it's been a long ass week and like fucking it's midnight.
I appreciate you, Spencer. Thank you for picking up the dock for the day while I get to play Starfield.
Starfield, you lazy cat.
Alright, I'll do my next. The Bengals, obviously, Joe Burrow is incredible, truly, he is incredible. Wide receiver core, obviously, also great. Jamar Chase, great wide receiver number 1. T. Higgins, excellent wide receiver number 2. Tyler Boyd, great wide receiver number 3, by the way. They have the receivers that you absolutely want in terms of filling those 3 positions at wide receiver. That is great to have on that team. Obviously with running backs, you still have Joe Mixon. Hopefully there's not another PR controversy with him, but still, he's Joe Mixon. He can be very productive, and I do want to shout out one of their he drafted him? Yeah, he did. Chase Brown, one of the later draft picks in this year's draft, from running back from Illinois. He was great at Illinois, and I'll say it right now, I can see him being a strong number 2 at the running back position for Cincy. Number two, yeah, number 2, if he gets the opportunity. But but yeah, nice to see that. Also, defensive wise, yeah, we know their defense. I mean, the only really thing that may have hurt them this offseason was losing Jesse Bates. That's probably the only thing, the only negative I'd say of their offseason was, losing him. But I think the Bengals should still be fine in that department in terms of secondary and all of that. And the O-line, I know it had a rough performance against the Chiefs, but I feel like as long as it's healthy, it should be fine. I think it should be fine in that case. So the Bengals, I really don't have much really to commentate about this Bengals team, because this is a great team. They'll be a contender this season, and as long as Burrow stays healthy, and to be completely honest, I could see week 1 being a struggle for them, considering they have a pretty bad history against the Cleveland Browns in terms of their success rate, but also considering Burrow he'll be fine, but just want to make sure he's could be a little bit of a challenge just gain up to form that quickly. But hey, he's Joe Burrow, so he can do. He's proven many people wrong over the years. So, but yeah, with this Bengals team, my floor for Cincy, I'll go 9 wins. My ceiling for Cincinnati, 14 wins.
All right. Obviously, very happy. I very much have liked the antics of good old Joe Shiesty here. Just Joe Burr. Pretty much any name you can think of, a cigar man. The Bengals are a very exciting team to watch, and I could easily see this team being the Peyton Manning to Kansas City's Tom Brady, where it keeps the AFC nice and exciting. And obviously, he's got that swag. And obviously I like him because he dressed up in a Randy Moss jersey for Halloween once, and skull baby. Fucking, this is the best we got. But yeah, obviously very high on this team. My floor for them is 10 wins, and my ceiling for them is 15 wins. Next up is the... Oh, fuck you.
Yeah. I'm gonna be I'm only gonna say one or two. You know what? Sean Watson, go fuck yourself. Everybody else, I mean, has there any team, like, especially if, you know, can you imagine if Deshaun Watson just never returns form?
Yeah, not to mention all the draft capital they gave up for him. Like,
oh yeah. But here's the thing. The fact that the Cleveland Browns, they were once like the lovable losers. Like, the lovable losers. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Some might argue that they were always
They were always the lovable losers. You feel genuinely bad for the franchise, the fan base, over every stupid decision that this franchise would make. From the years stretch where there were at one point more Star Wars movies than they were Cleveland Brown wins.
I remember that era.
You don't remember the era where they went...
No, I remember that era. I also remember the era where Cleveland went 0-16. That was fun to see. Lions fans be like, "Welcome to the club, buddy."
I watched every game. I've never felt so bad for a team. Never wanted a team to win more, to achieve more. Cheering on Baker Mayfield, telling Colin Cowherd to shut the fuck up about him. But he was right. He was right about Baker. I remember being excited when they traded for Odell Beckham Jr. To see them now, it's kind of pathetic in a sense. That a franchise that once we were cheering for to get out of it is now vilified for having a sex offender on their team. Deshaun Watson shouldn't be playing football. I really think, honestly, he should be serving his 11 games, the last 11 games of his suspension this year, to be done and out with it.
Prison.
He should be.
He should be in jail, dude. Yeah,
I mean,
he should.
Yeah.
I can understand wherever like he should be in jail. X, Y, Z. Absolutely.
Zed, what are you, Canadian?
Yes.
Well, you know the Drew. At the end of the day, money talks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big thing. Money will always talk. It's the same reason. I'm not gonna go into that, but you get the damn point. If you're rich, you're probably gonna get away with it.
Mm-hmm. I think it's still a big black eye that the NFL didn't address this properly, especially since how big the Me Too movement got. And hearing the stories of the women, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah,
but
to be fair, I will say, I do want to comment. Like, this is not the first time the NFL has had this type of scandal. I mean, for God's sake, I mean, I feel like the NFL would have learned more, considering how they basically Chris Benoit Ray Rice from the league after the infamous elevator video came out. But yeah, apparently they haven't. So yeah, that's just my take on that.
I mean,
hey, TurboTax just sent me an email.
There's the only good thing about it is that Flemlo Rap's video on Ray Rice, it is It is actually a genuinely good video that highlighted people who were in probably their darkest times and shared their stories in a very, very nice way. It still stings, but you know what the thing is? They're still together. Through thick and thin, they're still together.
For as awful as what he did, for as awful as what Ray did, I'll give him praise for this. He fucked off from the public eye. He just said, you know what, I'm done. I'm just gonna leave from the public and never come back. You know what? For 9 years, we basically heard absolutely nothing from him. Genuinely.
They did see Flumlo's video and they did say thank you for sharing the story.
Yeah.
See if they've got any weapons or
At the
ammo.
very least, I'll at least give him praise for at least handling it better than, you know, most pieces of shit handle it.
They made a mistake and they've owned up to it.
Yeah.
Which
All right,
is
so
good. But now everybody else on the team. I like their acquisition to trade for a young wide receiver. I don't know. Amari Cooper has this weird road statistic where he plays better at home than he does on the road. He had this when he was a Cowboy. It was a very prominent statistic that he had. They still have Joe Barry as their defensive coordinator, right?
No, they don't.
They
have Jim-
don't.
Oh yeah, they have Jim Schwartz now. Jim Schwartz is the defensive
Ugh,
coordinator.
Jim Schwartz.
I mean, it's not the worst defensive coordinator, but at the very least, an improvement over. Wait, did you say it was Barry or because I'm pretty sure I get him confused with the Packers
Joe
defensive
Woods.
coordinator.
He was
Joe
thinking
Woods.
Joe
Oh,
Woods.
Joe Woods. Sorry, I was thinking
Yeah,
about Joe
we get the
Woods.
two. Yeah, I get him confused. Don't
I mean, the
worry.
last time he was in this role, it was for the Eagles in 2020.
Yeah, he did win a Super Bowl, so better than Woods. But yeah, Cleveland. I guess I'll give some thoughts on Cleveland. There's a part of me that, for as much as I hate Deshaun, there's a part of me that really wants to see Dorian Thompson-Robinson start a game this season. I really want to see that happen just for the sake of it happening. And if Deshaun Watson still ends up playing like mediocre or plays like shit, and a scenario happens where DTR comes in and does better than him, that would be fucking hilarious. Do I think that will happen? No, because I don't think the script writers are that based. However, it's still very funny to think about and would be a very hilarious scenario. With that being said, the Browns, I mean, obviously there's still talent on this team. Nick Chubb, obviously. Elijah Moore, you have Elijah Moore, I think he should do well in Cleveland, hopefully. Amari Cooper, I'll admit, Cooper had some... Last season with Cleveland, granted Cleveland's quarterback situation, not great. He actually did better than I thought, but, yeah, he did have some rough moments here and there, but I'm sure he'll still do well. And, yeah, that statistic, of him doing better at home than on the road, yeah, it definitely sounds relevant to him. I expect Myles Garrett to be better this season. I think he's going to do really well. I think he'll... Because I remember people saying last season he just didn't feel as impactful, but I think this season he should bounce back better with a new defensive system. My favorite of the Browns, I will say this, other than the obvious discussion regarding Mr. Watson/Cosby, I gotta say, I definitely feel Kevin Stefanski's on the hot seat this season.
Mm-hmm.
I really do believe he's on the hot seat.
Yeah. I agree. I agree 100%.
You know,
I don't even think Stefanski's a bad head coach. He did really
I don't
well.
think he's a bad coach. I just think it might be like it feels like things just aren't going the way the way Cleveland wants things to be going. And I don't think he's a bad coach. He's obviously he definitely belongs in the league. It's just I don't know. It's not looking great with his tenure with the Browns and the way things have been heading. Even with the roadblocks he's been having to overcome with the controversies and injuries and all that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did we give floors and ceilings yet?
Nope, about to.
Oh, wait, I need to say my piece about the Browns. You know, I really think it's a shame that that Deshaun Watson overpowers any other discussion on the about the Browns because you know, there's so many other obvious tips and tricks that the Browns have been implementing, such as Stefanski's tried and true method of basically just taking the dinner scraps from the Minnesota Vikings and applying it to themselves. This year they have two, not one but two acquisitions from the Vikings. Both of them on the defensive line. In defensive tackle, we have Dalvin Tomlinson. And on defensive end, we have Zadarius Smith, who, funny enough, this is the second time he is playing for a division rival of a team he already played for. Yeah, it's a pretty weird coincidence, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna be kind of, and also we have, you know, I don't feel like I've heard anything from Jeremiah Owosu Koromoa, JOK, in a while. I have to wonder if he's doing anything in training camp. Same thing with Sione Takitaki. You know, just haven't heard much of anything from their linebacking core, and obviously they're them having so many wide receivers on IR is a bit concerning. Some names that pop out to me immediately are Anthony Schwartz and Jakeem Grant, which is not great. So I think the Cleveland Browns aren't gonna be. They're gonna be like not good. Just not quite bad, not quite mid, but not good. You know, sort of like it's sort of like going to your grandma's place, and it's just it just doesn't feel good to be there, but you can't quite put your finger on why. You know, it smells a little funny. You know, the TV is always boring. You know, the place just looks a little dark. But you wouldn't say you're having a bad time. It's just, That's why my floor is 7 wins and my ceiling is 9 wins. Just a very, you know, unsatisfying hand job of a season. That's what I'm predicting.
All right, so I'm gonna say this right now, just for karmic reasons. The Browns' floor is 0 wins. For karmic reasons, they start losing, they trade away all their good players, and they get 0 wins because they start Deshaun Watson. Just fuck him. As for the ceiling, I'm gonna go with my more even keeled prediction. They're gonna have enough high-end talent, but honestly, between Deshaun and DTR, the quarterback situation is a whole bowl of meh. So I'm gonna say this: ceiling is 8 wins, floor is a big fat 0.
I'll go with my predictions. My floor for the Browns, I got 6 wins, and my ceiling, in terms of if Deshaun does well, Deshaun returns to the form that he had with the Texans, I see the Browns winning 10 games. Like Cleveland just, yeah, I know. I'm just saying, like, I just see this team as like if things go the plan, regardless of whether NFL fans want it to happen or not. And trust me, I understand why nobody wants it to happen.
No, not that. I mean, you were 1 win away from the funny number.
Okay. I'm not changing it. Never mind. I'm not changing
Ah,
it.
damn it.
I'm not changing it. It's gonna feel forced now. But yeah, it's just Cleveland's just not gonna be bad enough to be like a top tier pick. Even though it would be fucking hilarious if that ends up happening. Please make it happen, script writers. It'd be glorious.
Alright. Well, Brownies. I feel like it's a tailless time. I think your team is better than last year's. But so is everybody else. 6 to 9, 6th floor ceiling is 9. Now get up, my face.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go.
By the way, I just want to say that Sports Illustrated 2019 cover is still one of the funniest things I have ever seen. That is still a hilarious cover.
This is Vanguard Moira. Sorry if I had to reclaim some used
Browns
property.
are back.
But this whole
And
store
it's
yard
the
is full.
2019 Sports
I've patched up my
Illustrated
ship, and I'm
magazine.
heading to them too.
I feel stupid. I spent fucking an hour looking for this thing. God damn it.
Until then,
Fuck you, Todd Howard.
Yeah, fuck you, Todd Howard. 0 out of 10!
clear out while you have the
There's no
chance.
16 times the detail. My dreams are ruined.
Here's like I know it's like a pop. I know we all done our high and lows about the Browns, right?
Yeah.
Where the fuck is the objective icon on my HUD menu? I can't find it. Okay, done. Anyways, time for the Pittsburgh
The last team,
Steelers.
the Steelers. I already
Fine if
know.
I do an interaction during this segment.
Don't do it. Just don't. No. It's passe at this point, you know. Everybody and their grandma knows how to do interaction, and they don't even do it well. Yeah, if
Dying
they
I
dead.
gotta
They
do
put-
it during the
they do a bit-
and feeling.
they say it a bit too much like Gilbert Gottfried, you know, because of that urinating tree hack, and you know,
Urinating
Don't
tree
realize
ain't really a
that there's a lot
fucking
more-
injure.
yeah, they don't know how to do it right, you know.
Looks like it's Neptune next.
Alright,
Okay.
Neptune's next.
Anyway,
The Steelers. Oh boy. This
you
team
know,
has managed to quietly be not bad. Sorry, this team has always feels like they look bad, but they play way above their heads, right?
here's what I have to say about the Steelers, bro.
Now here's the thing. The Steelers, I mean, they're gonna be mid. They're not gonna be a top team.
I don't even think they're gonna be mid though. They have an 80% win rate when TJ Watt plays. That's a
Yeah,
huge.
Yeah, that
yeah,
is
but he's
true.
injury prone.
That is true. However, here's my thing with the Steelers. At Canada.
You make a good point.
How the fuck is he still playing? I'm confused. How the fuck is he still coaching? How is he still a coach, a coordinator? I thought Matt Canada should have been exiled to Saskatoon yet last year.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'll say it right now. It's like on one hand, yeah, TJ Watt, like once TJ Watt plays, they play a lot better because obviously TJ Watt is one of, if not the best defensive player in the NFL. But on the other hand, Matt Canada. And that's all you need to know. Matt Canada.
Here's my thought on the Steelers. You know, they're not gonna be great. They're gonna be mediocre, but you know, somehow somehow Mike Tomlin is going to drag them kicking and screaming into a winning record, and it's going to take until the last possible moment of Week 18 to decide their fate. And you know, people are either going to say they're going to the Super Bowl or they're going to want everybody fired. And,
No, Mike, I don't want to go. I don't want to win 9 games for the 1 billionth year in a row. Stop it. Stop dragging me.
And they're going to end up with something like the 16th overall pick, and you know, it's just going to be another year of spinning the tires. You know, as much as Tomlin's a great coach, I gotta say it, this team reminds me a lot of the Jim Caldwell Lions, where, you know, like, whether it was the talent or the coaching, they'd be dragged to a 9-7 finish that I honestly don't think that they deserved. You know, and it was not very fun to watch.
I'm just gonna get the inevitable out of the way here. My ceiling and floor with the Pittsburgh Steelers is 9 wins for both. That is my ceiling and floor. This is a team that no matter how good or bad they look, they're gonna end up with 9 wins, because that is what the Mike Tomlin Steelers has become. The 9-win team. It may not be pretty. It's gonna be ugly. But they're going to find a way to keep that winning record streak going like they're the goddamn Detroit Red Wings.
And you know, it's going to... Because, you know what happened last time they didn't get 9 wins. You know, the bubble Steelers happened where they got beaten to the ground by the Browns.
Yeah. And, I mean, I will say this. Look, I do want to comment. I do like Pickett, and I will add on to the point about Tomlin. I think Tomlin's a very good coach, but it's in the same way I view John Harbaugh. Like, they're both very good coaches, but they're past their expiration date. And Tomlin in particular, I feel has been past his expiration date for a while now.
Thank you.
Alright, who's ready for me to say?
Right.
Who's ready for me to say?
I'm gonna do my floor and ceiling for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So for the floor, even with Matt Canada supposedly coaching his way to an exile in Saskatoon, I'm gonna say the floor is still 9 wins because Matt Tomlin always gets a winning record. Now for the ceiling, if Kenny Pickett turns out to be a savior that the franchise needs, and you know the defense turns out to be balling because TJ Watt is healthy, the Steelers are gonna somehow bumble their way to 11 wins. It's still a tough division, but still, Steelers kind of Super Bowl.
Oh God, the numbers!
Oh!
We must cleanse this. Shalot has invaded our stream. We must cleanse the numbers. Oh God.
Oh shit. The Steelers are about to have a season we'll never forget.
Alright. The ceiling is 12 wins and Steelers got the Super Bowl.
It can't be undone now! It can't be undone now!
Too late.
I'm just gonna go blame Matt Canada for that again. Let's exile him to Saskatchewan.
Fucking Steelers got the Twin Towers.
I can't believe it. Is it you? Is it Captain of the Frontier?
Okay, so why was that Yinzer doing my floor and ceiling?
It was something special.
Then the day is true.
Yeah, he
But
predicted
now
that
I
the
know,
Steelers did
I
9/11.
changed. I know.
Oh my God, seriously, I gotta tell that
if
Yinzer
I'm
to get
being
out of my
honest,
house.
I'd wager either way.
You really do.
Hey, do you
Or at least charge him rent, you know, like a modest San Francisco price, $1,500 a month.
I wanna live in San Francisco. Nope, you're not. Get the fuck out.
Anyway, we have a Luke to hear from if he's not too busy being Starfield.
No, I'm kind of just
Luke, let's hope the Yinzer hasn't
soaking
arrived
it
there
all
yet.
in. Oh, I don't know if I have the sanity to do the Yinzer. The thing that I feel about the Pittsburgh Steelers is I think they're being very slept on. Mike Tomlin is still a very, very good coach. Was able to drag a roster which played eons above its head to a winning record. Something that I don't think could be done. I think when I look at Tomlin passing the exploration, I think I look at the core of the Killer Bees. Brian Roethlisberger, Antonio Brown, and Le'Veon Bell. I think it was the point where they have to turn over to the next generation of Steelers. This has been an organization that has had, I think, since the 70s, 3 different head coaches. It is going to be very hard to get fired when you're the coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah, since the 1960s, I want to say
60s?
there have been more popes than Pittsburgh Steelers head coaches.
I think Tomlin's still a great coach. I think he's fine. I think the one thing that is the $1 million question is on Kenny Pickett this year. How well is Pickett going to progress as a member of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is he the franchise quarterback or the stopgap for the next few years? George Pickens, I hear, could be the next monster wide receiver out of this organization, and that's going to be huge for this team.
Monster in what way? Because, this is the Steelers we're talking about.
I know.
The franchise that gave us Mr. Big Chest.
No, Aunt Rocio
refuses to die.
Aunt Rocio Brown. I feel the thing for the Pittsburgh Steelers, just the downside of the Steelers is that they're in a division that the hardest division in football. No more do they just have to thwart the withhold the Baltimore Ravens. And, there no longer will the Bengals and Browns continuously trip over themselves. They have good teams. So in order for Pittsburgh to really get back into form, as I really think they really need to evolve as a coaching staff. That's the only way they're going to do it. It's going to be very gritty in the North. I do not think they're going to achieve a 9-win season. This could be the year where they fall below 500, purely based on the difficulty of the AFC. But if they remain to be above 500, that is a testament to how good this team truly is. I think it's a lot better than people are giving credit for. I still think they have an incredible defense. If TJ Watt plays healthy, they win the majority of their games. But that's the key thing. If TJ Watt is healthy. And we're going to keep that in mind when we're giving the record. I think their ceiling is 11 wins. Again, you play in the toughest division in all of football. It is going to be the most physical, gritty football that's ever be seen on the gridiron. I think your floor looks like a little bit like 7 wins. They will be under 500 as the floor. Could they be a 9-win team? Absolutely. They could have the fittings of a 9-win team.
Please, Mike, we don't want another 9-win season.
But we don't. We don't. We want to move off of this 9-win monstrosity. I think the Steelers should be really fun to watch this year. You're not the Cleveland Browns, but you always will own the Cleveland Browns, And
that one time when they didn't.
Yeah. Except for that one playoff game, but let's be honest, it's because Big Ben ran out of gas.
I think it was more about, they didn't take the Browns seriously.
Dems is the Browns. I don't think we're going to get days of our Steelers ever again. Unless George Pickens is a fucking idiot. Could
Given
be.
the Steelers' track record with wide receivers.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to imagine. With that said,
Cricket is a future.
that is all 32 NFL teams.
Holy crap, we did it.
10 weeks.
Hey, get out of there.
Oh,
So
fuck.
we have.
We did, America.
We did it. So we have one more. We have one more stream before the season, and that is our official predictions. Predictions for this year. It is going to be. I think how we're going to do is when we start. I think we're going to get ours out of the way, and then we're going to open it up. We're going to open up for discussion. So we'll do ours. We'll try to do them hopefully within a half hour, and then we'll open it up to the community. I'll have the document ready for Sunday, just to have it out there. Just if you can't make it in, just fill it out. Simply just fill it out. Top 5 picks, who's going to the playoffs, who's winning the Super Bowl, that kind of fun thing. We'll do that. I'll have it ready. The Cabana will be open Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for Northwestern and Rutgers. And we might watch Cal versus North Texas. We might watch that if we feel like it. We'll see.
I may not be there.
We'll see. I'll be there. I'll be able to screen share the game. I've more now on top with my streaming sites, and I have a VPN too, so that will, that will help a lot.
So
Yeah.
we have baseball.
Baseball. I'll go last because I have a fuckload to say about the Mariners.
I'm gonna go first. I'm gonna start out.
Talk your
All right.
shit, King. Let your nuts hang.
Hell yeah.
All right, so if we did this episode last week, I would have been in a real foul mood. I'm gonna say this right now. I think I think there's one lesson I've learned. It ain't over until it's over. People were thinking the Giants were done. People were thinking, oh, they're gonna be out of the playoffs. Well, guess what? We went on a good run, and while we ain't exactly a contender yet, you know, it seems like with guys like Yastrzemski and Haniger finally getting healthy, and you know, young guys like Meckler and Schmidt finally learning how to hit. This team, I don't want to say we're back yet, but hey, it looks optimistic. The ball's back to his, you know, clutch self. Kyle Harrison is as good as promised. I gotta say, Harrison, Cobb, and Webb is a pretty good rotation if we ever make the playoffs.
Harry Cobweb.
Yeah. And what else? Robert Flores is still him. Shout out to the Mets for giving us him. And Lamont Wade's still clutch as usual. Jock is finally like swinging it. Patrick Bailey is Buster Posey 2.0. So you know what? I got a message for y'all doomers. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel, bro. Y'all were like, oh, we should blow it up. Oh, they suck. Oh, we should fire everyone. But you know what? We're starting to win again, and y'all are looking pretty fucking stupid. Giants got a World Series. Okay, I'm just kidding. We're probably just gonna get our ass kicked in the wild card round. But you know what? This team's gonna be so fucking scary in the future that I don't really care what happens. It's another development year. Just want us to keep playing the youngsters because they look pretty good. And maybe get one or two guys in the off season. Our farm, I mean, most of our guys are already in the majors now, but we still have some decent guys coming up in the system. Hold on, let me look it up. Yeah, the one guy I want to talk about, Bryce Eldridge. We drafted him this year, and he's been doing good in the San Jose Giants. I gotta say, we're slowly but surely building a really good farm system. And you know, while a lot of our guys are in the bubble between being major league regulars and minor league prospects, So I think you can expect this Giants team to become very scary in the next 2 years. So yeah, I'm in a good mood right now. Yeah, we lost big, but I'm in a positive mood right now. So yeah, let's go Giants.
Well, the Brewers, what a fucking team we are, huh? You know, even after everything, we're still 3.5 games ahead of the NL Central. What a fucking ride this has been. I've been enjoying most of it. Obviously, I don't like it when my team lose, but other than that, we've been on a real tear. I mean, our L10 is 8-2, with those two being losses to the Cubs, and honestly, I think we can afford those. And I'm very excited to see if more of this wackiness ensues in the playoffs, and also I said this to Aiden about the Brewers, but this team has very much been like weird in a good way.
Please let me know. You won't find a larger array. I'm sure you'll be satisfied.
All right, Nick, feel free to talk about your Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, Cubs are doing what they gotta do. I won't lie. I had a feeling we'd go one out of two tonight against the Reds. Wasn't expecting to go the way I thought it would go in terms of that happening, but still, we got one win. Obviously, we got a huge series win over the Brewers, so great stuff and really nice stuff in terms of what the main Cubs are doing, but in terms of the minor league, what the baby Cubs are doing, Matt Shaw, our draft pick from this year's MLB draft, he's already in Double A right now, so he is progressing very fast, and it's definitely really helping that he's able to play multiple positions, and of course, obviously, having a very strong bat. That is great to see how he's doing really well in terms of his quick progressing. Considering our third base situation, yeah, it's nice to see a guy who can play third base progressing that quickly. In terms of other stuff, we called up Alexander Canario. He didn't make his debut tonight, which kind of disappointing considering that many Cubs fans want that to happen. But he's had a great August. Was honestly may have had a shot at making it earlier, but he had an injury last season, which basically stopped that from happening. But nice to see him at least get the call up. I'm sure he's not gonna be the only call up in this month. I'm sure Pete Crow Armstrong will probably follow soon with how hot he's been in Iowa. But in terms of young Cubs players doing well, definitely the main story I feel has been Jordan Wicks, who made his debut last week against the Pirates. Had a great game. Had a great game in that game, and also had another great game today against the Reds. So in 2 starts so far, he's been looking great in those first 2 starts, and the fact that he's not even our top pitching prospect and he's doing that well, yeah, that makes me very happy to see him doing that well. So obviously the Cubs right now, we are the 5th seed right now in terms of the NL, which I won't lie, the NL wildcard race is kind of a mess, because it's teams who have talent, teams who have flashes of potential and should have bright futures, but it also feels like these teams can definitely trip over themselves here and there. But the Cubs have been doing a lot less of that. I mean, we at one point this season, we were 10 games below 500, and before the second game against the Reds tonight, we were 10 games above 500. So yeah, that's definitely what stonks look like right there. But yeah, I mean, really not much else to add, but I do really like where we're at right now in terms of our positioning with where the main team is at and where the minors are right now. So yeah, I like where we're at.
I smell something very special in the air. Something.
Does it smell like toast? Because if it is, you might be having a stroke.
I smell nothing but W's.
So, not toast. Good.
Not toast. The Mariners! Oh my good golly gee. What an incredible month it has been. For long we have journeyed in being a phrase that I have said over and over and over and over again.
That's just
Finally,
crazy.
I'm still terrified that we're going to be finishing 500, by the way. The fact that we've come back from the ashes of nothingness to be basically back in, not only be at one point having sole possession of first place in the AL, to being really in the heat of this playoff spot is something that I never thought I'd see this team do. The fact that this team managed to crawl and crawl and crawl their way out of being out of the mud and into an actual playoff contending spot. It is incredible to see this team's resilience. It's incredible to see this team's adjustments to hitting the ball at plate. It is incredible. Julio has had a phenomenal month of August. One to remember to where you should hopefully be the player. Was he AL player of the month? Should have been. If not, I want to sue MLB.
By the way, how did Fat Dumper do?
Cal Raleigh is Cal, man. Cal is clutch, man.
Clutch and has a fat ass.
Mm-hmm.
I bet he does a lot of squats every time he hits a home run.
The fact
Now
that
thing
the
just
big dumper has been clutch, but not only that, the Modesto Nuts are on an incredible high
As safe
game.
as your equipment out there. Welcome to Alpha. All of our products come.
The fact that
Myself.
this whole team has rallied around each other. This team has worked together.
I've never.
So the fact that this team's been able to put it all together is incredible. Now, they are about to finish their last of their easiest mode sketch. Unfortunately, they lost to the Mets today. Bat's starting to cool down. I'm starting to piss my pants again. Fun, am I right?
Sounds like you need to get a diaper or something, dude. If you're pissing yourself that much.
Well, look on the bright side. The Rangers and Astros both lost tonight.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, Rangers lost to Twins, Astros lost to Yankees, so you at least have that.
The Twins? Oof.
Oh, thank God. I am very terrified of this month, because historically, this is a month that really, it doesn't go so well if you catch my meaning, you know?
Oh, it's Dick Punch o'clock.
Mm-hmm. It has been historically punch in my balls. And I don't want it to be punching my balls. I think this fan base has had enough of it. I also made the biggest regret ever. I joined the Mariners fan group on Facebook. I won out.
Facebook?
I still use Facebook.
Whoa.
But like,
Whoa.
yeah.
This might be your worst take yet. Fuck.
Okay, hold on! Hold the fuck on! I say that because I still connect with some friends from Bible college and old childhood friends. I find it extremely useful. Okay.
Yeah, but you use Facebook like an old.
Great! I still use Discord to talk to you guys.
Old.
I use fucking Instagram to send you guys Aiden memes. Specifically Aiden. I hope
And me too. You
Well,
old.
Yeah, thanks, man. That's helped me through some tough times.
you're welcome, buddy. I'm gonna send you 99 more.
Yeah.
But yeah,
You old.
So, I wanted to test Aiden's doomerism theories on with certain things, and oh my fucking god, some Mariners fans, they're mad at Ty France because he don't run fast.
why would you be mad at Ty France?
You right? Right?
Why?
Exactly.
Dude, I'm so glad I quit Vikings Reddit this year.
Oh.
If I had to hear one more discussion about, is Kirk Cousins the best thing since sliced bread or literally Hitler, I would have gouged my fucking eyes out. Oh my god.
Dude. Some of these,
You guys haven't seen
most of them are
Niners
absolute clowns and just reading the response defending. Most of them are defending players, but I feel like there's so many people that are just realistically really impatient. Time to say the most controversial thing. It's not the end of the world if we miss the playoffs. The Mariners could very well miss the playoffs this year.
Oh, I just wanted to say, this is, like, when you see stupid when you see, dumbasses over-exaggerate everything in sports, it's like, this is the point where I go on to say that the internet was a mistake.
No, who remembers Meverse? That was a mistake.
Okay, yeah, too.
Who fucking
that was-
Meverse?
Basically, sports Reddit is a shit heap. Don't go on sports Reddit.
Never. Just save yourself.
Goddamn sports fans, they ruin sports.
The only thing that's worse than sports Reddit is anime Reddit.
No, wait, no. There's something even worse.
Hololive Reddit? The Hololive one where you
4chan.
cute anime girls can't play with boys. Ew.
No. Fucking
4chan.
Sports 4chan, where, anytime there is a person of color on the screen, they choose to, spam the N-word, and also they say pretty much any loss, from the New Orleans Saints, pretty much every comment is basically saying, Hurricane Katrina strikes again.
That sounds like the most sane 4chan user right there. But yeah, I mean, I guess the only other thing I could add is, I mean, literally almost just about every part of social media is a shithole in some way. I mean, I've dealt with my bad communities before. Wrestling Twitter left me with stab wounds from my time in that era, but yeah, that's a great example of a bad community. Well, not just a bad community, but it feels like a bad community where it feels like negative aspects of other bad communities are all combined into one, and that creates the worst possible community where every possible bad thing that happens is transferred into specific community. But yeah, regarding what Spencer said, yeah, sounds like the most average 4chan discussion to me.
Never. On one hand, I want to say never change 4chan, but on the other hand, go outside 4chan.
Everyone go outside. I don't care if it's nighttime. Everyone go outside.
Okay.
4chan, y'all better touch grass or I'm gonna make you touch grass.
Are you touching grass out there, Luke? Is he touching grass? I can't tell. Did he seriously just walk away?
He did. Oh, there he comes.
I wonder what kind of grass he's touching. It's legal in Canada, right?
He doesn't like touching grass because he says touching grass is for pores.
You poor!
Wait, so if touching grass is for poors, so you're telling me that half
Yes.
the NFL is poor?
Yes.
The Major League Baseball is poor?
Yes.
What about golf?
Yes.
Golf is a bunch of rich people.
Especially golf.
Especially golf.
Even golf is considered poor,
Yeah.
based on your definition.
Because they're touching grass.
Yeah.
What about polo? Polo, a
Poverty.
weird ass sport where
Well,
Where,
technically,
like,
it's the
people
horses.
go on horse.
Technically, the horses are touching grass.
Well,
Yeah,
you still have
the
to
horses-
dismount the horse every now and then.
Yeah, and where do they do it? On concrete. Like, you know, they're not gonna do it on grass.
Wait, Camp David. World leaders touch grass at Camp David. So you're telling me that most world leaders are poor?
Yes.
Yeah.
No wonder most governments are poverty.
Right?
Grass, bro.
Wait, so you're telling me that every president of the United States is poor because they've touched grass?
Yep.
Exactly.
Why do you think Donald Trump went bankrupt? Touch grass once, or
Exactly. This is what I talk about. Why do you think I avoid touching grass? Because I don't
Dog
want
touches a different kind of grass and he's like wealthy.
I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor.
Is ice skating considered touching grass?
touching ice.
All right, fine. So I guess ice hockey players are rich.
Yeah.
And basketball players are rich.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And technically, football
Why do-
players touch AstroTurf, which is technically not grass.
It's basically
Wait.
carpet on
They're
concrete.
telling me that Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo are poor
Yeah.
because they touch grass.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially Messi.
So you're telling me that Steph
Why-
Curry and Connor McDavid are richer than Lionel Messi?
yeah,
Yes.
Messi, he's so poor. He had to come to America like a poor immigrant from the 20th century.
Exactly. Exactly.
What about rock climbing? Is it considered touching grass?
I have no idea. We're going way too in depth with this. Brain hurt.
It is 1:30 in the goddamn morning.
Yeah. God, there's so much new. I feel like whenever we miss a week, we miss out on so much news.
We had a trade, I think.
We had shit happened.
Miles Gaskin is a Viking now.
Freelance is a cowboy, and Niner fans are being absolute fucking idiots
And
again.
the Colts are still stupid.
But Vidarian Lowe is now a Patriot thanks to a trade that sent a 6th round pick back to Minnesota. Thanks, Patriots. Thanks, GM Bill Belichick.
Oh, and the Angels, they basically blew up the entire fucking team.
Yeah,
I want to talk about that.
It's still not under the taxpayer or the fucking tax thing, by the way.
They should have been under the luxury tax.
No, I don't think they are.
At this point,
actually.
move the Angels to Chico. Maybe the Angels should have been a team to move to Las Vegas.
Here's what is something that kind of just makes me so upset about
racism.
Yeah, exactly. If you play Spider Solitaire, you are a racist and deserve to get canceled. That's right. If you play Spider Solitaire, you deserve to be fucking canceled. Colors are allowed to mix, god damn it. I am so angry. This is me when Spencer told me, no, those you cannot do that move. I I was that mad. That angry. So, anyways. Yeah, it was angry. But anyways, here's the thing. What I don't get what the Angels are doing. So, you do all these moves to try and improve the team, and the literal opposite happens. Well, fuck it.
I agree.
Fuck it. Yeah, I'm almost out of juice. We're going to talk about the Angels, and I'm probably good to wrap it up. I want to go more into Trey Lance next time, but...
Trey Bisky, I call him.
Mm-hmm. With the Angels...
All I can say about Trey Lance is at least the Niners didn't give him the sunk cost fallacy.
I mean, sorry, Aiden, but this is one of the top 3 draft busts, in my opinion. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this is...
You're not... Here's the thing. Fuck it, we're talking Trey Lance right now. God damn, we're on the subject. The thing about Trey Lance...
Over.
...is... It's what... He got Josh... Dude got Josh Rosen! Straight up! And I know this roster is built to win, but I feel like he's better on your roster than off of it. I feel like you can still kind of justify a potential trade with him being a potential like success with the draft pick with him being on the team than off of it. They traded up 3 first-round picks for him. And the thing is, if the Dolphins do not win a Super Bowl, it's going to look a lot less bad. And if the Niners win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy, it doesn't even matter. Right? Who cares? It's gonna be
championship makes it mean which just means like okay, if we win a title, we win our side of trade. Automatic rules right there.
Yeah. The thing is, I feel like the San Francisco 49ers could actually get away with it. They are about to get away with trading up 3 first-round picks for a quarterback that's going to be one of the top 10 all-time busts because you found one with Mr. Irrelevant. Those kind of just cancel each other out. If the Dolphins don't do much with their current core, if they don't win a Super Bowl, and you do win a Super Bowl, and your 4th-round pick is a Hall of Famer from the Cowboys, you're going to be like, who the fuck is laughing now, assholes? Who the fuck's laughing?
That's a Todd Howard quote.
Who's laughing at us now? That's right, fuckers. I knew you fuckers would still pre-order Starfield, and you guys are enjoying the fuck out of it. That's right. Buy the game, bitch.
Buy Skyrim again.
Don't forget, we're gonna get Skyrim for your fucking mobile device. You're gonna buy it like a little bitch again. That's right, you're my bitch. But
in all honesty, you know what I think about this? The Niners made a big fuck up, and that is something I have accepted. They fucked up. They traded. Yeah. They gave up way too much to move to 3rd overall. But here's the thing: does it really matter in the end? Maybe
Probably not.
Now here's the thing: if there's one thing that this saga has proven to me, the Niners are a good organization. They didn't give in to like sunk costs and try to justify it. I would have loved him to get one more chance. I would have loved Trey to get like a few regular season games to prove that hey, he can still start. But you know what? Team decided, we already got Purdy. Let's move the fuck on. If it doesn't work, start over again. Move the fuck on.
I know.
And here's the thing. The Niners, despite the huge fuck up, they still have one of the best rosters in the NFL. Still have one of the best coaches in the NFL. So you know what? We'll just see how it goes from there.
I mean, even Colin Cowherd, of all people, is like, yeah, nothing to worry about. This is like, I can understand why you want to offload him. This is a Super Bowl win roster that has a win now. We are here to win now. We're not just gonna just wait around for us just to magically figure things out, right? We are a win now team. It's time for us to win now. That's what it is. It's time for us to win now.
Yeah. And so I'm glad the Niners chose to just move the fuck on instead of trying to justify a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah.
The only thing I'm really disappointed in, apart from the decision itself, is the reaction of fans. I'm gonna tell you this. I can tell why people hate Niner fans. I can tell why people call us 40 whiners and stuff. Because let's be honest, we could win 3 Super Bowls and our fan base would find something to complain about.
You know, it's part of it is that, and another part of it is making the same canned jokes about always beating the Rams, except that one time when it actually mattered. You know.
I mean, the thing that that just kind of throws me off about all of this. I mean, with fans, it's you don't like it when your team does a bad, you know? Whenever your team does a bad, that is something that, you know...
It's a bad.
It's a bad...
It's frustrating, yeah.
Yeah. It's frustrating. And I have a little bit of empathy to go, you know what? Fair enough, right? We did a bad with Trey Lance. And... You know, if I'm a fan, I'd too be pissed off that we gave up 3 first rounds, because what if we were those 3 first round picks away from winning the Super Bowl? That is something you're going to be hearing over and over and over again. Especially like the best example as a Seahawks fan. Yes, we did win a Super Bowl, but that mistake throwing at the 1 yard line costed this team a potential dynasty in the making.
And I'm just gonna say it. This might be a bit controversial, but I think another big mistake that the Seahawks made right around then was trading for Percy Harvin.
Yeah.
Especially since they gave up the opportunity for Xavier Rhodes and also Jerick McKinnon.
Well, we've done stupid trades too, but I feel like the difference between all of it, right, was the fact that this team, again, could have been a dynasty with multiple Super Bowls. Been talking about how legendary the team is. Like, they talk about the Patriots, they talk about the San Francisco 49ers of the 90s, right? Like, those dominating eras. To have your team being discussed as one of the greatest legends of all time is something that is, it's gonna hold you back. And it's not a great feeling to have, especially as a sports fan, when it's, you guys were a great team of that decade. You guys were a good team. Could have been could have been the best. But no, you fell short at the 1 yard line because you could have ran it with Marshawn Lynch. But even then, in an interview with Pete Carroll and Richard Sherman, he defends this decision, and I think I have to agree with him. Malcolm Butler made an incredible play and jumped on the Red Wilson's eyes and jumped on the route. Phenomenal play by Malcolm Butler. Fantastic play. But, especially when your team does a good move, does a bad move, you're always going to be remembered for the bad. You're very rarely remembered for the good. I mean, I hardly have heard anybody praise the Miami Dolphins for the move, the fact that they fucking fleeced the Niners and been able to spiral all of that into building the strong competitive team that they are day.
I mean, look at who they got out of that trade. They got Jalen Waddle,
Tyreek Hill, I know.
Bradley Chubb.
They've got studs from that trade. Now, they have to win a Super Bowl for us to really to have an end to it, because I think Tyreek Hill's got 1 or 2 years left, and then he's calling it quits. He's not going to play
blah,
into
blah,
his...
blah, 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 blah. Calgary Flames, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah,
blah,
yeah.
blah.
Yeah. So it's hopefully that they can. I wish them good luck, but at the end of the day,
It's the end of the day.
you got to put it all together. You got to win the Super Bowl. If you cannot win the Super Bowl, it could just be a big old blah. Big old blah. We all laugh at the Niners. End of story. But especially, I think for Niners, give a little bit of apathy. And even then, I'm not saying Brock Purdy is a solid lock. I have to give him four or 5 games still if he can put it together. The big thing is, though, and this is what really confuses me when they made the trade, too. You do know that Brock Purdy's recovering from elbow surgery. He's not going to have his arm strength back, whereas if you have Trey Lance, you could still justify that selection. He's fully healthy. You just have to tell his dumbass not to run in the middle of the field. You run to the side. You run to the side, you slide. You run to the sidelines or slide. Not in the fucking middle of the field where you can get completely
But the
fucking
thing with
floored.
Trey is that, you know, it wasn't like a usual, he just has issues with certain mechanics. It was more like, holy shit, this guy doesn't know how to play football.
It could be he
You know.
he lacked a lot of situational awareness, to where to have the awareness of, hey, when you manage to escape the pocket, you need to be able to have the base knowledge to go outside, and that could have been, again, even though we had that COVID year for college football, we might have missed a whole lot of details that really could have pointed us out to what he was missing. And again, it could
He
have
had
been
one game. He had one game.
Mm-hmm. We could have seen him having that really low football IQ that would have sent him back down to a 5th or 6th round selection, because you're lacking that football IQ, and that's
part of it was Josh Allen mania, and part of it was John Lynch falling in the same pitfalls that Ryan Pace fell in back in 2017.
And also Zach Wilson, he's probably going to be the top 10 bust list too if he doesn't get a chance to start for the New York Jets again. He is going to be on the damn list too.
Oh yeah, well I'll say it right now. I mean, same with Lance and Wilson, is they both impressed in the combine. They both impressed in, the drills and all that. But really, does it really translate to like the on-field product, which is so far what we've seen is no, and that's why I feel like I usually take those results with a grain of salt. That's why I'm still being very patient with someone like Anthony Richardson, because I know damn well just because he looked great at Combine doesn't mean he's going to be all of a sudden this next big thing. He's not going to be the next Patrick Mahomes.
And again, it's the big thing that I think especially for Richardson, you have to have some football IQ. If you don't have the football IQ, ladies and gentlemen, oh boy, it is going to be a long... Anthony Richardson could very well be another bust, because you look at these guys who don't have very high football IQ, and you just want to be like, you know what? They might be a project, but, this guy could be the next Josh Allen. But here's the thing that I at least saw with Josh Allen is if he wasn't making plays with his arms, he was making plays with his legs. And he had the football IQ to go out of bounds and not run into the middle of the field like a fucking idiot. He had the intangibles.
I feel like the football IQ definitely helped him become a much better passer, because similar to Richardson, he was not a good passer in college. But of course, under the right system, under, improving that football IQ, obviously that will get better.
Yeah.
And also, I hate to be, this low effort as far as observations go. Josh Allen had Sean McDermott as the head coach, while uh, Anthony Richardson has guys that Jim Irsay is buddy with.
I
I
say
like
yes
Shane.
and
I
no.
do like Shane. It's just the rest. It's not.
Like
you know,
Cooter.
Yeah, I know. That's a much different discussion with him other than. But yeah.
I just like saying Cooter.
Because like the thing about Steichen, I will give credit for. It doesn't sound he's not a drinking buddy. Hell no. But I also saw Richardson in the preseason. Dude, just put Gardner Minshew in. Richardson is going. Let Richardson learn the playbook. Let him learn at an NFL level for a year. That he is going to die. He is going to die in this system. And again, I mean, I like Colin's point. With it, he doesn't. Anthony Richardson can play this. He gets a free pass basically. Just do a good every once in a while, like have a good moment.
If
And
he
you'll
has
be
a
fine.
season, if he has a season like Justin Fields had last season with the Bears, where he just does what he has to do just to survive, I feel like that's a successful season. My only worry is, I get the fear that this could be much similar to 2021 Justin Fields or worse, considering just how raw of a quarterback he is and what he's having to work with.
Yeah, what he's having to work with.
You think they're gonna Andrew Luck him again?
That's not out of the question.
I mean, that's not out of the question, but I will also note, like, it is very interesting to see that the top three quarterbacks, the big three quarterbacks of this draft class, all of them are going to be starting in week 1. That's going to be very interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah. One's gonna die. The other... I mean, the other two... Well, I'm so mixed on them, you know? I'm so mixed in them, because I feel like Carolina...
Yeah, mixed on like Spider Solitaire.
I mean, I didn't see the rookies do that good in the preseason, so... I mean, the season's... The NFL regular season is an entirely complete different beast as of alone.
Yeah.
Is there be...
I do want to comment on quarterbacks, though, just to finish up this discussion. I do find it funny, though, that New England basically pulled a troll move and basically just, for a little bit, just basically made Matt Jones the only quarterback on the roster for a good while.
Oh, he was never gonna be. I literally knew he was never gonna be the only quarterback on the roster. He was gonna bring somebody else in. I know,
but I just find it funny that they just released their freaking draft pick. They fucking wait, was he even drafted? No, he wasn't. Okay, never mind. Lee Cunningham was an undrafted free agent, but even then, I'm so surprised him and Zap got released, and you bring in Matt Corral, who I'm gonna be completely honest is looking like an NFL bust.
Also, new to the Pats, we have Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, we know.
Yay!
Zeke, and they also have the infamous I mean, he's on the practice squad, but like actually no, he's on the reserve list, but like the infamous college football player, last name from Navy. I'm just gonna say that.
It's pronounced Fago.
Yes, Diego Fago. Yes. For the love of God, learn how to pronounce. For the love of God, if you're an announcer, please learn how to pronounce the name first before you try pronouncing it.
Otherwise, you're gonna end up like Tom Brenneman, having to state that you're a man of faith, and there's a deep drive into left field by Castellanos, and so that'll make it a 4-0 ball game.
Yep.
Yeah, love it. I love it.
And on that note, I think we're starting.
I'm almost out of gas. Whew. I thought we were gonna. I cannot go 3 hours today.
Aiden is so tired. They died.
Aiden.
They are no more.
We'll talk more about
Again.
Wow, we've revived a man. We've
Okay.
resuscitated
The
him.
last point I want to learn is, I'm happy that football's back. College football's underway. A genuine good battle, North Carolina versus South Carolina. That's gonna be really fun. I look forward to watching it tomorrow. And anyways, we'll see you guys Sunday for the Cabana, Northwestern, and Rutgers. Boy, oh boy. I mean, hey, look, Nick, think of it this way. We're getting fully prepared to wake up for football next week. We have to be up for 10. And
Hey.
yay.
I
West
only have
Coast.
to get up at 12:30, so I have a little breakfast and then.
I'm usually up at like 9:30 anyway, so we'll see.
Haha, Grandpa.
That was 9:30 Grandpa time.
You're old.
I know. Anyways. Wednesday. You'll see us Wednesday. We'll do our official predictions and have a ball. Anyways, Starfield is a game. That's all I have to say. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.